we need guys who can score touchdowns. And the Raiders last year, we just didn't score enough. And we're at that point on the draft board where we felt there was a player on offense that could, potentially, be a difference maker for us with the ball in his hands. And then when you look at our offense right now, tight ends are our quarterback's best friend. They're easy throws, give him the ball in his hands, let him run after the catch. And Brock at Georgia, he was moved around a lot. So he was in line as a tight end. He was as a big slot. He's been split out before. He's been as a wing. So I think you can use him in a variety of ways. And we're looking to add some more juice to our offense and thought he could fit that role.
Tom Telesco, new Raiders general manager, on the selection of Brock Bowers with pick number 13 in the draft. They drafted Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame last year, so they got 2 tight ends. And it's a twist on the old Buddy Ryan thing, although it wasn't really why he got rid of Chris Carter. The line that he'll never get away from is all he does is catch touchdowns. That'd be fine with the Raiders. They want a guy who's going to catch some touchdowns regardless of position. And I think Bowers is good enough that, it's not quite, he doesn't have the Jimmy Graham build or the Gronk build, but it's kind of the same idea. It's a pass-catching tight end that is kind of like a receiver who plays a different position.
That's right.
We don't have to pay him as much.
That's right.
But it's still the same idea.
Yeah, I think he's more along the lines, right? I mean, the first thing is, you got to think that the Raiders were a little bit like, oh, crap, what do? We thought for sure Michael Penix was going to be here.
Exactly.
So that's the first thing, right? And so I feel like a little bit in scrambling mode. We know they needed offensive line play. We know that, and then that's what they addressed in the second and third round. That was a big thing, and I think that's where people question the Raiders a little bit in this and go, wait, you guys need offensive linemen, and you had everybody available except 2 guys where you were picking at 13. Why didn't you, take one of them, or 3 guys, excuse me. So I think people were a little confused by that. But, I mean, Tom Telesco's point's real, is they do need some guys that can make some plays, right? Brock Bowers, to your point, I think he's more of a Kittle, Travis Kelce type of tight end, right? That's who he is. And you look at them, and you go, damn, not only can he do the traditional tight end stuff, he could be the guy that lines just off the ball, right behind the tight end as that H-back. And then to your receiver point, yeah, he could be that, hey, next play, get in the slot, and you're quick enough and fast enough to win in the slot like a good slot receiver in the NFL. And it seems that's the way they're going to play, right? So they kind of help both. They run game, pass game, young quarterbacks, do all of that. I get that. You think about the personnel they put on the field. Mayer's a little bit bigger, a better blocker, right? But Bowers isn't a bad blocker. You got him on the field. You go, oh, wait, we got to worry about the running game a little bit, right? You're going to try to get big on defense. So you got 12 personnel. They got White at running back, those 2 tight ends, Jacoby Myers and Devontae Adams, and you go, okay, they got something working. And teams get big, like it's the old New England thing with Hernandez and Gronkowski. And all of a sudden the extra linebacker comes in there, and the next play they go, hey, we're going to spread it out. Brock Bowers is over here at receiver now. Hey, Michael Mayer, even though he's a little bit, more of the blocking tight end, he's still good enough in the pass game. We're going to make him an issue for you. And I like the vision of that when I think about that for the Las Vegas Raiders.
I think one of the realities, too, is that tight ends don't get drafted in the first round a whole heck of a lot. Travis Kelce was a 3rd rounder.
Right.
George Kittle was a 5th rounder. Gronk wasn't even a 1st rounder because his back was so messed up coming out of – was he Arizona State or Arizona? I think it was Arizona.
Yes, right.
Arizona, regular Arizona.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm looking at, Kyle Pitts was the last tight end to be a 1st rounder, and
Kincaid last year, remember? Don't forget in Buffalo.
I forgot about Dalton Kincaid.
Right.
He's yet to really crack the seal on what he's going to be.
Yep.
Hawkinson was a 1st rounder. Noah Fant, Hayden Hurst. And the guys, O.J. Howard was just, I'm sorry, O.J., but he's not even in the NFL
There's been some
anymore.
misses.
It feels like wishful thinking that you're going to kind of will this guy into being worthy of the pick. But with Bowers, there was talk that his floor was 10.
Yeah.
And the Jets trade down and they take a tackle and not Bowers. And at 13, it's, the first good value pick of the night. But it just seems weird when you just made Michael Mayer a key piece of your 2023 draft class. But that was different management. That's the other reality, too. Different GM, different head coach, different vision, different thought process. And the goal is pump up scoring. pump up the offense and get a guy who's going to catch the ball and do things with it, and that's what they were thinking. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.